I just can't resist dancing at the start of streams now. I think that's just the thing. I start the stream just bobbing from side to side. How are we doing, boys and girls? Is it 3 days? Hold on. What day is it? Wednesday. 3 days until the Leamington Meetup. 3 days. If you're watching this on YouTube, it's 1 day. It's tomorrow. If you're watching, I mean, this is before the YouTube intro, so you're not watching it on YouTube. But 3 days. 3 days. Oh, I can't bend the thumb as easily on that one. Thumb arthritis, I guess. My dad has arthritis in his hands. Too much. It's more like the overuse of the thumb muscle for mousing. Should we do an intro? We should probably do an intro. How do I do that? Where's the thing? There it is. Well, after many years of climbing up the leagues, we finally find ourselves in the Championship. We're favourites to get relegated. We didn't do much in the transfer window. Our wage budget is much lower than everybody else's, and we don't have a ground. It'll be fine. There you go, boys and girls. That's your YouTube intro. That's how the professionals do it. Chris has had his cards turn up. Excellent. I think most of them are out now. I've had lots of people telling me they've had their cards, which is awesome. Should we do a card update? See how many are still available for the next box break, which is still a couple of weeks away. But I'm keen for stream regulars, if they want to be involved, to get involved, because otherwise it will just be a bunch of strangers. I don't mind. I mean, it's a new small business. I don't mind strangers. I don't mind strangers shopping in my online shop. However, I want you lot to be involved if you want to be. 30 packs left, same as yesterday's. We've not sold any in the last 24 hours. Anna's going to be disgusted. Absolutely disgusted. But 2 weeks out, I guess that's probably okay. I'm on mute. I'm not on mute. You're messing with me. That threw me. You rascal. I'm definitely not on mute. I can see the wave moving. There you go. Chris says I'm not on mute. What I am is in a room that needs a window opening. So we'll get that open. Oh, well, transfer window yesterday. It didn't, I mean, I say it didn't go to plan. I guess it kind of did. We didn't expect to be able to do much, and we haven't done much. We brought in a couple of players. We broke the club record transfer 3 times. David Roberts broke it. Then Damien Warrington broke it. Both of them will be starting. And then Jason Kelson, who won't be starting, broke it. As I started to get a little bit carried away and spent a lot of money on someone who's might be one for the future. We shall see, I guess. Towards the end of yesterday's stream, we did turn down a big offer for Tom Wooster. Could be getting offers close to £1 million for him that we've obviously got no interest in accepting. But we are over our wage budget, which is not ideal, but is fixable. There you go. We fixed that. But to give you some context for how out of our depth we are at this level, if we have a look at salaries, there we are, rock bottom. Our salary per annum is half that of Southend, who are the next smallest one. You can't see because my head's in the way. If I just move my head for a moment. Still can't. I've got to move everything. Where's the overlay? I don't know where the overlay is. That one? There you go. So, as you can see, our wage expenditure per annum, £3.74 million. The next highest is Southend on 6.26 and Crewe on 6.5. And even they're pretty low. You don't have to go far up here to get to the teams that are spending 3 times the amount that we're spending. If we stay in this division this season, that is a miracle. But we're going to. We drew our first game of the season. It started okay at home against Bristol City. We now face Stockport in the League Cup, who Stockport have made it all the way up to League One. That's they're on a bit of a road to glory of their own, bearing in mind they start the save. Do they start the save in the National League North? No, apparently they don't. So they are back in the National League in real life, are they? Well, that's not as impressive, but still, they're up to League One. Trying to get back to where they used to be. I remember when Stockport were in the Championship. I remember beating Stockport at Wembley in 1992 to get into what is now the Championship with Posh. Paul, thank you for 21 months. You can hear me now, I guess, which is always nice. But yeah, that's the situation. Looks like we're playing Stockport immediately, which is interesting. We have still got like 3 weeks of transfer window left as well, so plenty of time for more transfers to happen. But in order for anybody else to come in, other players are going to have to leave. So I think we've finished the voluntary transfer window. Anything that happens from here is kind of out of my control and has been forced upon me by likely Godwin or Wooster. I think they're the two most likely to be taken away from us. They're the two big stars of the team. Scott doesn't seem to be attracting as much interest as you'd think. Roberts has only just signed, so he won't be going anywhere. But Wooster and Godwin are the two I'm most worried about being taken off me. But they'll be multi-million-pound deals if they happen. So if that happens, we fly back into action and bring in 5 more players. Casino Square, thank you for the sub. Has there been any interest for Wooster? Well, we've just turned down 900,000 for Wooster. So yeah, there's definitely interest. We've turned down 7 figures for Godwin before, although I don't think we turned it down this summer. I think it was January we turned down 7 figures for Godwin. But for either of them to go, it's going to have to be big money at this point. So I don't think it's likely. It'll be one of those offers that the chairman accepts out from under me more than I can't imagine there's a price for either of them that I voluntarily accept. Certainly not for Wooster. For Godwin, maybe if someone comes in with 3 or 4 million for Godwin, maybe we take it. We've just got Warrington in who can play in that role. There's probably an argument to sell Godwin for multiple millions if the offer comes in. But even then, it's not like we need to. Do the club need money? We don't need money to survive the season, but we don't have a ground, we don't have any facilities, and we don't have any budget. So we don't have any money either. So it's not that the club need money. It's more if I want to sign some championship quality players, I've got to sell someone to do it. So we kind of, it's good that we get 5 or 6 championship games under our belt before the window closes, because that way we can get to deadline day and make a decision from there. If we're comfortably mid-table on deadline day, then we don't need to sell anybody. Whereas if we're already rock bottom and look like we've got no chance, maybe there's an argument then to sell. Club reputation's 2.5 stars. Under no criteria are we ready for the championship. It's going to be a mess this season. This season is going to be a mess. But we shall see. I'm expecting to be in the championship for many years. And I think for the first couple of those years, it's more likely we get relegated than promoted if we end up leaving it. The fact that we're really struggling here against Stockport in the league below is a bit alarming. We've just won this league and haven't lost in the championship yet. Maybe I've fiddled with this team too much over the summer because we seem to have lost our spark. Although that is lovely football and deserved a goal. Right, substitution o'clock. Everyone's tired already. It's the second game of the season. How are they all so shattered already? Who is Kobe Mainu? Oh, is he the guy who came in right at the end of yesterday's stream? He's on loan from Hearts. See, again, he's not the kind of midfielder we needed, really. Oh, past Kev, what are you doing to me? I think we go back to just playing a box-to-box midfielder in there and force players into the role, even if they don't really like it. It's called the Chapman way. If in doubt, just force players into a role that doesn't really suit them. Let's get Dector on as well. He's played a lot of box-to-box midfield last season. He's probably better suited to it and play this guy further forward, maybe. That seems to make sense. And we'll do that. And I think because we're at home against a team from the division below, I think we push on and attack. One tackling. Why would I even look at tackling? That sounds like an attribute. Don't become a pervert, Chris, or we'll have to reevaluate your position within LOLLUJO Enterprises. There's no room for perverts here. We don't look at attributes. We don't like perving on numbers around here. There you go, see? Always have faith. Hughes is in with his second goal in 2 games. What a hero. Plus, how hard is it to learn to tackle? I'm sure he'll be tackling like nobody's business in no time. It'll be fine. You question some of these signings. People often question my signings. People are often proven wrong. We take the best we can get in the circumstances. See? That's a good tackle. Crunching tackle. And now we just need Wooster to confirm why he was the best goalkeeper in League One last year. That wasn't why. Jorge Hernandez is always the example. When he signed for Bourne, he had a finishing of 4. When he left Bourne 5 years later, having scored over 200 goals, his finishing had dropped down to 2. And he still scored 50 goals a season. Attributes are nonsense. I still don't even know which one of these has not got, it can't tackle. Is it the midfielder? This guy. Is it him who can't tackle? Doesn't matter. What does he need to tackle for? He's a midfield player. He's there to create goals. He's got Godwin behind him to do the tackling for him. There you go, see? We're doing a football. There's the Wooster we know and love. I mean, it was straight at him, but let's not worry about it. Little Kev. We didn't have a lot of Little Kev last year. We'll need the revival of Little Kev. Little Kev's back. Little Kev's a championship player, clearly. Don't need to tackle if you always have the ball. Exactly. What's Messi's tackling attribute? Why does a creative midfielder need to be able to tackle? Look at the people who can tackle. David Roberts. Look at it. You can take a penalty as well. When can I buy a shirt with Let's Do a Football? When I eventually sort out a new merch contract with somebody. I haven't looked at merch for a long time. I don't look at star ratings either. I just go on average ratings, trading ratings. Each to their own. If he can't tackle, set him to ease off tackles and concentrate on what he does well. No, I'll just do what I do with every player. Shoehorn him into the role I want him to play, and he'll either sink or swim. The reason, I mean, to level with you all, the reason I haven't done merch for a while is because I'm currently unclear on what my VAT status is as a business. My YouTube income is not VATable, but pretty much all other income I earn is VATable, and I'm not far from the VAT threshold. And having to handle VAT on a quarterly basis sounds like a lot of complicated stuff that I don't necessarily want to be a part of. So I'm holding off on merch until I know what the situation is there. Because if selling a couple of t-shirts pushes me over the threshold where I have to start worrying about that, I mean, which theoretically, it's not going to cost me a load of money because the stuff you buy, you save the VAT on, and it kind of balances out, sort of, I think. But the bottom line is I don't really understand VAT. So if I can avoid having to think about it for as long as possible, I am. So I'm avoiding thinking about it for as long as possible. So I'm all for increasing my YouTube ad revenue as much as possible, and my Twitch income as well, because they're both from the US, so not subject to VAT. But any domestic income, so brand deals, sponsorships, merchandise, all that kind of stuff, that's the stuff I'm not desperately trying to increase at the moment. Yeah, as Tony said, it'll be the final push towards me getting a proper accountant. Rather than just having someone who glances over the books once a year. Proper accountant, which will cost more than I'll make in selling shirts. Right, we're definitely not selling Wooster for that kind of money. Watch him get annoyed now and want to leave. He didn't get annoyed. That's nice. Get Jimmy Carr's accountant. I'd rather not have to pay a massive fine. That seems as unpleasant as paying a lot of tax. I'd rather just keep things simple for as long as possible. It'll probably be something that, I mean, I don't know what my year-end numbers are yet. We're still a few days away. It might be that we've pushed over the VAT threshold anyway. And this time next week, I'm launching merch because I've got it. You don't need a VAT number till it makes over 80 a year. Yeah, exactly. We're not a gazillion miles away from that. I've already got HMRC nosing around. Can you just send it editor Chris on an accountancy course? Well, Anna wants to do one, so I think Anna's going to go and do one. All right, is this the guy who can't tackle? I mean, there's a lot of things he can't do. That's fine. A lot of stuff he doesn't need to be able to do. He's a midfielder. He can play centre-back with one tackling and one marking. That works. Right, who are we playing? Leeds. Similar sized club to us then. This is good. Right, but actually I want to switch that back to a box-to-box midfielder. Go back to what got us here, and they want to be that way around. Good old Cameron Dempster. He's going to be a star. I don't mind a midfield player not being able to do some of these things he doesn't need to be able to do, because it means he's got spare ability to spend on other attributes. It's like when you're building a character in Skyrim. I'm not going to worry about how maxing out their archery. I'm never going to use a bow. I'm going to put all of it into magic and hitting people with a sword. I don't mind an unbalanced character. It makes you better at the things you need to be good at. Why does a midfielder need to concentrate? He literally just needs to create goals and score goals. I can't concentrate, but I do all right. We have done 3 promotions in a row, yes. Right, one of our new boys from this summer, Lumpton, charging forward. Ah, Chris, you're a silly goose. He's not very good at goalkeeping either, but luckily he's not playing in goal. He's also not in the midfield to defend, so he doesn't need to be able to do any of those defending things. Let's because you're making a big deal of it. Let's see what he's good at. See, look, for the role that he's playing as a Mazzala on attack, none of those attributes are important. But the attributes that are important for that, he's good at all of them, apart from finishing. He can't really finish. But everything else, he is a creative force out of midfield. That's what we're looking for. He doesn't need to be able to do defensive stuff. That's what the guy behind him is for. We're not playing total football. Watch him go on and be player of the season. See, Warrington's there to do the tackling. He did a lovely job of it there. By the guy behind him, I mean Warrington, the defensive midfielder. The clue is in the name. Our defensive midfielder is the midfielder whose primary job is to defend. The other 3 are attackers. This team has 4 defenders, including the goalkeeper, and 7 attackers. You could argue we've got one guy who does a bit of both. That was... Worcester's done a couple of good saves in this half. It's the Lille derby. If Theodros is still in the team on merit in the Premier League, he'll get United. Realistically, he'll probably get United before the end of the save regardless. I think he's already done enough. Oh, that's a goal. What a goal that is from Kai Edwards. I've got mine. It was an 18-year-old from my South Shields to save best midfielder in the league. There you go. This is a lovely goal from Edwards, who, of course, has plenty of championship experience with Derby. All off the bench, but now he's getting his opportunity to start in the championship. We've come to Ellen Road and we're 1-0 up. We're Leamington. We are Leamington in a league game against Leeds. David Roberts has just clattered a guy when he was nowhere near the ball. That's what they taught you in that year in Brazil, is it? Doing that, you idiot. Worcester's not a million miles away. All right, come on, chaps. Let's go again. Oh, we are going again. Look at this passing football. Hughes is in! Oh, I love it. It's the sort of game where it really doesn't matter what the score is. We're supposed to lose it. The fact we're having some attacks is so much fun. We're just having fun in the championship, boys and girls. If we get relegated, so be it. We're having lots of fun. Pushing our fullbacks forward. Just leaving the two guys back. Oh, it's lovely. Media prediction was relegation. We probably will get relegated, but we might not. Wouldn't that be great? Come on, let's have an equaliser. Oh, it's cleared off the line. We are going to do subs after this. The board's expectation is battle bravely against relegation. So the board don't care if we get relegated. The fans don't care if we get relegated. We're here for a good time, not a long time. What they don't all realise is that we are going to establish ourselves and end up in the Premier League within 5 years. Right, time for a bit of tongue, everybody. Are you ready for a bit of tongue? You're getting some anyway. Did the club vision say defensive football? Don't care. Not going to do it. Plus, when you have that on the club vision, that doesn't mean play defensive football, albeit that's what it says. It doesn't judge it by what you actually do in your tactic. It judges it by how many goals you concede and how many chances you concede. So it doesn't matter. We could park the bus and still fail that objective this season because we'll concede a lot of goals. So we just have to accept we're failing that objective regardless and just make sure we do all right on other objectives. I am pretty happy coming to Leeds and making it a contest. We're not going to get many games as difficult as this season, and we've narrowly lost it. We've still got 5 minutes left. We could grab an equaliser yet. But even if we don't, we've kept it competitive. And that's wonderful stuff. Oh, see, he can't tackle. I wish someone had mentioned he couldn't tackle. That's why he shouldn't be tackling. He'll be fine. He'll go and reflect on that, and he'll be fine. You don't get to look smug because he's still going to be one of the best players in the team this year. And that's the important thing. Doesn't matter if he gets sent off occasionally. Right. Apparently we were fined for ill discipline. That's not ideal. So who do we play next? Hopefully someone easy. Burnley. Easy. Are they also just relegated from the Premier League? Oh, they are! Oh, that's good. Back-to-back newly relegated from the Premier League teams. At least we play Sunderland after that. The team that finished below us last year. Oh. During the England game last night, when there was a VAR decision, I blurted out that the ref was fingering himself and got some strange looks. It's going to catch on. Don't worry. It'll catch on. And then stuff like that will be fine. Sunderland are third at the moment. They've had a nice start to the season. They probably haven't had to play all the relegated Premier League sides like we have. Come on, let's keep dancing, everybody. Let's enjoy our time in the Championship. Got to keep those shoulders moving. Got to keep flexible. Got to keep having fun. Ooh, the Championship. It's cold in here with that window open. It's that annoying time when it's cold with the window open. But too warm without Southampton can bite me. Get away, everybody. Nobody's having my best player. I will hydrate with coffee. I don't think we've fiddled with our set piece takers for several seasons. Well. Huh. Let's put some set piece takers on, shall we? There we go. Oh, Tommy. What would it take for you to commit your future to the club? You want to play in the Premier League? Well, you're not good enough for that, Tommy. How do I break that to him gently? Would a new contract with an increased wage convince you? That would do it. You are such a mercenary, Tommy, but we'll do it. I'll be happy to stay for a wage of $5,500 a week. I don't know if we can afford to pay him that. Can we jump into a contract negotiation now? Oh, I see. I understand. We'll pay what you want in order to keep you here. There we go. I hope we can. Get this off. Yes, we can. Excellent. Well, that was easier than expected with mercenary Tommy. Come on, everybody. Ah, Phil Neville's resigned from Birmingham. Never mind. We have a number of good Championship players. Our goalkeeper, both centre-backs, our defensive midfielder, and one of our strikers were all considered good Championship players. We have put together a good squad of young, up-and-coming superheroes in recent years who've just got better as we've gone up the leagues. And he's one of them. Because we've had him for so long and developed him. People saying I can't do player development. Look how long we've had Tom Wooster for. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is his 7th season at the club. And now he's talking about playing in the Premier League, the madman. But he might do. He genuinely might play in the Premier League one day. Which would be bonkers. And he's not the only one. We're all about developing players around here. That's what I do. I'm known for it. I should be known for it. I'm an expert at it. Right. Why is Gilks really our best left back? What's the issue with what's his face? Turguy. I mean, I'm not going to question it. Gilks has been loyal for a long time. If my assistant manager thinks he's a better bet than Turgay, then who am I to argue? Other than the manager. But, of course, Connor Weaver, the guy who's a wide target man, playing at right back. That's what I'm talking about. Right, this will all do nicely. Let's go win a football match. Come on, let's do a football. The game thinks we'll get relegated this season, but we won't. I bought a goalkeeper in League 2 for 200k and 8 years later I sold him to fellow Premier League Arsenal for 50 million. Replaced him with 2 goalkeepers that will develop into a better keeper than he is. Nice. Arichi's in here. Arichi! Oh, that would have been a lovely little moment for him. That was a big chance. He took a shot too early. He could have carried, he had no one near him. He could have ran that into the penalty area. And then just walloped it at the goalkeeper from a yard away and dared him to get in the way of it. Hit it really hard at his face. Oh, Kai Edwards has been practicing his long-range shooting this summer. He knows he's not going to get many opportunities. So he's just going to start scoring from long range. That's 2 games in a row he's done that. Just bang. That's what happens when you have a striker with a headband. You get goals like that. Is this team better than the real-life posh team? Yes, because we've got 5 championship quality players in it, which the posh team in real life do not. What's his attribute? No idea. Why? How would I know? You lot are adorable. Attribute, my eye. I wish they took attributes out of the game. Just obviously they need to be in there for deciding how good the players are in the engine and stuff, but hide them. Make it so the player can't see them. That'd be brilliant. I'd be fully in support of hiding attributes. You could keep, at a push, I would allow them to keep the little polygon on so you can get a rough idea of, okay, this guy's better at defending than attacking. But get rid of all the little 1 to 20 numbers. They're absurd. They've got enough data in there now. Because people's argument is always, yes, but in real life, there's so much data in the game. When I say, well, you don't have attributes in real life. Yes, but you have data. Well, the data's in the game now. So let's hide the attributes now. And you can rely on the data in the data hub to decide if they're any good. Yeah, do like what they did with player fitness. That would be great. There are skins with no attributes, but you don't use skins. Yeah, exactly. I'm not using skins. I'm not a filthy modder. I've got attribute masking on, but it doesn't mask your own players. Attribute masking only masks opposition players that you haven't scouted. Jack Grealish is great in Football Manager. He's been in multiple Streamer Showdown winning teams. If you can't get Jack Grealish to play right, I'm afraid that's on you. But Jack Grealish is a fantastic Mazzala. The data hub that I don't use. Yeah, I'm not proposing I'd use the data hub. But if people really want numbers, they're there. You go and use the data hub. You don't need data and attributes. People already call them stats anyway. Make them actual stats. Down with attributes. Down with attributes. Finn, thank you for 4 months. Are we slipping down the table? That's not ideal. We need to make sure we're close to the Kev ratio. Although, to be fair, Burnley, relegated Premier League side, the fact that it's competitive is lovely. That's even lovelier. We've got to, I mean, for all the 90s kids in the chat, the guy's called Duvet. We've got to do some kind of don't do duvets thing around him. But we do duvets. Duvet does. We'll figure it out. We'll workshop that one. Imagine the meltdown Zealand would have if attributes vanished. I don't really... Is Zealand an attribute guy? I don't really know. I know he likes his tactical tweaking. I don't know if he's an attribute guy. I've never really watched him play FM. I know Jack would be horrified. And for me, that would make it all the more worth it. Oh, Tommy, what are you doing there? That wasn't a £5 punch. You got away with it. Oh, a little bit of tongue. Come on. Let's have a little bit of tongue. Is that a corner? I think that should have been a corner. Oh, we are playing some nice football now. Duvet looks very promising. We signed him on a whim just because he had 5-star potential. He's a right winger. He doesn't fit into our system at all. We signed him on a whim because he had 5-star potential. And he looks like a proper player. Not just because he scored that goal. He's been involved in everything in these last couple of matches off the bench. In fact, he started the last game, didn't he? We like Duvet. Zed picks his showdown teams based on attributes. That's why he's not very good at winning the showdown then, I guess. That's why his drafts are so poor. Armani Gilks, after question marks over whether we should start him in that game, man of the match performance for a man who signed for us 7 years ago in the National League. He's been away and come back. He signed for us. This guy signed for us in the National League twice. Zed is not the second best. Clates is the second best at the showdown. Remember, Zealand's had more chances to do. Zealand's played more showdowns than anyone now. Me and him were level. But now he's played more showdowns than anyone. So Clates has a better win percentage than Zealand because he's won 2 showdowns in fewer showdowns. So Zealand's third on the all-time list. Damien, thank you for 21 months. How do I pick my showdown teams? Current ability. That's why if you come in the network game the Thursday after a draft, you'll see I still have current ability turned on the player search screen because it's the only time I use the player search screen. I literally go on the player search screen, put them in order of current ability, and then have a quick look at them just to make sure they're tall and fast. And if they're tall, fast, and have a high current ability, they go on the list. Holly is best, though, if you go by wins to entry ratio. There's a minimum of 3 showdowns competed in to be allowed onto the all-time list, I've decided. You can't have 1 showdown wonders getting on there. Likewise, Manny's only been in 2 showdowns. He needs a 3rd showdown before he can be on the all-time list. I'm afraid they're just Kev's rules. Scoobert? Are we saying that 8 to B? Or Scuatert? Thank you for 3 months. Seems like the king feels threatened by newcomers. The king just doesn't want to waste his time with 1 showdown wonders. Once they've proved themselves over a decent period of time, which 3 showdowns is a decent period of time, then I'll bother to beat them. Manny I dealt with in his 2nd showdown. It's no coincidence that these 1 showdown wonders always win it when I'm not in it. Neron won when I wasn't in it. Manny won when I wasn't in it. Holly won when I wasn't in it. I'm afraid it's becoming a little bit of a pattern that these shock wins only happen when I'm not there to do the predictable win. When did McKinn's win? I can't remember when. Was it the last one of FM20? That one was last day of term, so that doesn't count. I don't try in the last showdown of the year. We talked about that before. I bring my Game Boy in, and it's non-uniform day. The last one I'll never win. The first one I always win. So last day of term doesn't count. Showdowns I'm not in don't count. Didn't I say that about Clates? Then his era began. Clates never had an era. Clates won a showdown when I wasn't in it, and then fluked a second showdown. It's no different to anyone fluking a showdown. It's like saying Zealand's having an era. What you got to remember is during the Clates era, I won the showdown more times than he did. During his own era. Not just more overall. I won it more than him during his era. So, you know, I'm just special. JD Pyro, thank you for the Prime. How's the Tamagotchi doing? He's not been out of the box since last week. I'm done with him. Original Darren was my good friend. I don't want to replace him. I'm not emotionally over Original Darren's death to bring in a new Darren just yet. Maybe one day. I was as close to winning the last one as Ben. I'd argue closer. There was always the chance that I could have been swapped in on the Sunday for somebody. If somebody had gone down with COVID or something. If Ben had swapped me in on Sunday night before the playoff for him, I'd have won the showdown with his team. I wouldn't. It was a terrible team. But I might have been more competitive. I probably wouldn't have been. They were in terrible form. But I guess we'll never know, so I can claim that's what would have happened. Do you think you could win the showdown with any team? That I drafted, yes. You can't just give me Colchester reserves while everyone else has got Ronaldo and Messi and say, go on, win the showdown. That's not how it works. But I can, from any draft pool, I can win the showdown, yes. As long as I'm actually getting to draft my own team. Ben said yesterday he wants to win a showdown his way. Are there any showdown twists that I'd like to see happen? I'll level with you, and this is going to be controversial. Ben will tell me off if he's in the chat. I don't really like the twists. I wouldn't bother with them. I don't think they're necessary. I get why they do them, because it's a talking point, but I'd prefer we didn't ever do them. And we just played Football Manager. I completely understand why we do them. Because it's that entertainment value. It's that bit of fun. It's that talking point. But from a player's perspective, it's just a pain in the backside, isn't it? I'd just rather they weren't there. Yeah, and if you're counting a no prep draft, like, I would love it if there were never any twists and we never knew what the draft pool was in advance. So no one can prep for it. That would be the ideal for me. No twist, no prior knowledge of what the draft pool is going to be. I think that would be great. Oh, that's another good save from Wooster. How about all 8 teams get auto-drafted? Well, then there's no point doing the draft, is there? If you're trying to rush one out over a weekend or something, yeah, I guess. But there's no point doing a draft and just watching. Wooster did such a good save before and then dropped. Has it been disallowed? Oh, it has been disallowed. Excellent. Scott, thank you for the prime. Oyster has got away with that one. Yeah, the only downside to being in a showdown is all the prep you have to do to be competitive now. I literally spend the whole of the Tuesday before a draft prepping. It's an entire work day. Going through the database, making a spreadsheet, doing practice drafts, prepping for it, so I'm in the best position to go and win the thing the next day. And I would love to not have to bother with that, but without that, because everyone's doing stuff like that, without that, you're not competitive. And I know it's not an esport or anything, but at the same time, especially for those of us who do this as a job, it's pretty embarrassing to turn up and get 1 point, isn't it? Ooh. So I don't want to put myself in that position. So I do all the prep to make sure I don't. And I'd love to not have to. But you also got to remember, as much as I see it as an advantage that I play it as a game rather than a football simulator. And what I mean by that is I don't know all the players the way people who are really into football do. So I think when it comes to the prep, once I've done the prep, that's a massive advantage because I'll select players based on what I found out about them as video game characters, and what they're like in real life has no impact. But if everyone did no prep, the fact I don't know any of the real players would probably be a massive disadvantage to me. I start further back on the process than everybody else, so I have to work harder to level the playing field. All having the same squad would be a good twist. Again, you're taking the draft away then, though, aren't you? So you're taking one of the streams away. Which, and again, I'm not privy to any of this. I'm not involved in the discussions. I have no stake in the company that is Streamer Showdown. But I would assume when they're selling the package to a potential advertiser, they're going to get less sponsorship money if it's only 2 streams rather than 3. So taking the draft out of it probably isn't financially viable. It might be. I don't know. I don't know what the finances look like. I think that's, as a business, probably a consideration. What would be my ideal player pool? Just Premier League. That's when I'm at my best. Because I know that player pool inside out. Holly, thank you for 4 months. 4 months. So she studied me for 4 months to learn all the tricks. Now we know. It was a 4-month study process to learn how to win the Streamer Showdown. I should sell a course. 4 months to Streamer Showdown victory with Kev. Will that be vatable? That goes against the idea of not taking knowledge into a draft. Yeah, but we're not talking about real world knowledge there. I'm talking about the Football Manager player pool. I know the Premier League draft pool in Football Manager better than anywhere else because we've done it so many times. So it's not that it's real life knowledge that I'm putting in. It's I know which of those players work well in the match engine because I've used them a lot. That's different from real world knowledge, of which I have very little. Yes, I'm streaming tomorrow. Network game. Remember, tomorrow's network game is a 2 p.m. kickoff. It's not the usual evening slot. We are a 2 p.m. kickoff tomorrow for the network game. We'll be streaming 2 till 6. I don't, like I said yesterday, I don't know if I'm going to be in the Showdown next month or this month. No, next month, isn't it? It really depends on how the next few weeks go. Am I going to be watching Ring of Honor on Friday? Not live, that's for sure. There's like 5 shows on at the same time, aren't there? And I'm not particularly interested in second-rate level, not second-rate, second-tier wrestling. But isn't there an Impact show, a New Japan show, a Ring of Honor show, SmackDown, the Hall of Fame, and Rampage all on at the same time on Friday night, pretty much? So I'll probably just watch Rampage on Saturday morning as usual. And everything else I'll get caught up with on Twitter and YouTube, if there's anything that needs catching up with. Ben's going to be building a video when we do compete against each other. Well, that's what the Showdown's all about, isn't it? Building rivalries. The best thing from a storyline perspective is for me to not be in it and Holly to win it again. That'd be perfect. That then makes the story really interesting. Because then when I do come back and beat her, it's all the more fun. The Manny one was too short-lived. Beating him, stuffing him 4-0 the next month and him never coming back. There was a long-term story that could have been told there. Anna's fine, for those of you asking. She's fine. Oh, lovely, lovely, lovely. The Manny era. The Manny era that lasted like 3 weeks. Wins Showdown, gets immediately called out that night. Comes back, gets spanked 4-0 by Kevy, however many times I was at the time. Knocked out early the next day. Never returned. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the Manny era. We dealt with him. What we do, we deal with people. Have to build the anticipation like a babyface returning from injury. Now need Holly to make a heel turn. She leaned towards it in our post-match interview on Sunday. There was just that little smidgen of champion's arrogance. It was glorious. Just that little moment. Just the tease of a future heel turn. You say I'm heel for life, Chris, but I'm never the heel when I'm against Ben, surely. No, no matter how bad I can be against some other people, I'm surely always the babyface against Ben. Just dial the arrogance up a bit more. I'm not going to give him the ammunition. At this point you are. Ben is a beaten child on the floor at this point. He can't be a convincing heel anymore. Oh, bless him. Bless his cotton socks. We just won a football match, boys and girls. Shame it was only in the cup, but still. England boss Pep Guardiola is here looking at Tom Wooster. Oh my word, if Wooster gets called up for England, that would just be sensational. What's England's goalkeeper situation? Ramsdale, Etienne Green, who's 32 and still playing in France. That already smacks of desperation. Dan Mead, who is a new gen and is Chelsea's reserve, basically. Actually, it looks like he is playing for Chelsea. We've got to be targeting this guy. 4 caps at 32. Get him gone. Get Wooster in the squad. That would be amazing. Go on, you know what to do, Pep. You know what to do. Tamang's still at Watford in this universe, I've just seen. He never made the Chelsea move. That's interesting. Hold on. England. What year did he go to Chelsea on Earth 1? They're preparing. Perhaps he goes this window. I don't remember when he went. 38 goals from 38 caps. Ooh, how is he still playing for Watford? There is not a chance this scenario happens in real life. Once an English striker has 38 from 38, they ain't... I mean, once he's got 10 from 10, he's not staying at Watford. How is he still at Watford? How did he play a season in the Championship for Watford? When did he make his England debut? England debut... There's a screen that actually tells me that, isn't there? 2028, he made his England debut. So when he was in the Premier League with Watford, so he made his England debut, then like 18 months later got relegated, still didn't leave, did a full season in the Championship. How is he still there? It's bonkers. Perhaps we'll sign him. He stays there a bit longer, perhaps we'll get him. I'd love it if Wooster got called up for England. That would be brilliant. That would just be brilliant. After 4 games in the Championship. I would be amused. Right, we don't care about the EFL Cup draw. Okay, let me rephrase what I just said. We didn't care about watching the draw. The draw itself, however, has presented something a little interesting. We play Manchester United in a competitive football match. Shame it's not there. Although, to be fair, in the EFL Cup, I don't think there's a split of gate receipt, is there? So it wouldn't have mattered anyway where it was. That's still a fun game. Let's go and beat them. Right, transfer window nearly closed. The worry is if Wooster gets called up for England just before the window closes, and that's enough to make him leave, although he has just signed that new 4-year contract. So hopefully that means we're safe from him leaving this window at least. He must be pretty high up the list of Championship goalkeepers. So he's the same age as this guy. I mean, that is just cheating. You're in the Championship paying a goalkeeper £55,000 a week. That is hello. What have we got over here? A little bit of Etienne Tipple. Well, he's had a different career to what he had on Earth 1. How unfortunate. I don't think he's going to get his England cap playing in the Championship. Who wants him? Hopefully Norwich. Norwich should be in for him. Norwich is his spiritual home. There we go. Thus concludes my little tour of the Championship Dream 11. Sign Tipple. He's on £39,000 a week. That's more than half of our wage budget. I don't think you realise just how small a club we are. Right. Oh, Worcester didn't get the call up, but yes, we'll postpone the match. With all these players unavailable, of course we postpone the match. Duvet's playing international football. Oh, he's Jamaican. Well, there you go. Good old Duvet. Gilks is off playing international. I mean, to be fair, he's played 62 times, so you would expect Gilks to be playing international football. Right, Birmingham. First look at Emmett Walsh and his one cap for Northern Ireland. This is the guy who we said was an out-and-out poacher, wasn't it? Because he was too slow to be an advanced forward. That conversation from yesterday is coming back to me. But then part of me thinks we just play the way we normally play and force him into the role the way we do everybody else. That's what we're going to do. We're going to force him to play our way. Southend better stay up considering I work for them and in the office now. Although, to be fair, I'm sure if you asked around in the office, do you fancy a season where you get relegated from the Championship? They'd probably be like, yeah, go on then. That'll do. We'll take that. I don't suppose they'll be that bothered. Right, come on. Oh. Oh, if we have two strikers doing that, that'd be lovely. We don't need to get the ball in the area, just shoot from range all the time. Might be a chance to get the signed shirt you asked for. Yeah, I don't think any of the South... Oh, he's scored. There you go. Told you. Poacher. Poacherson. I don't think any of the Southend players that I wanted to sign that shirt will still be there. And that shirt is in my storage unit, right at the bottom of my Boxo shirts. Is there a way for small teams to make big money? Cup runs, getting lots of promotions. A season in the Premier League sorts you out. But in the meantime, pretty much selling players. You gotta buy cheap, sell expensive, and there'll be some player turnover for a little while. It does mean that's one of the reasons you get stuck in the Championship for 3 or 4 or 5 years, because there's going to be players in this team now who we're going to have to sell for 5 to 10 million to fund the team that will eventually get promoted. The likes of Godwin or Scott or Worcester, probably. I think it's very unlikely all 3 of them get promoted with us when we go to the Premier League, because we'll probably have to have sold 1 or 2 of them to fund the rest of the team. When I'm in the Championship, first 2 or 3 seasons are all free transfers and sell the stars. Yeah, exactly. I try and sign any 5-star potential youngsters I can find, knowing that they'll have some kind of resale value. Even if it's only after 6 months, there'll be some kind of resale value there. Takeovers can give big money, but I've been playing Football Manager for over 25 years and I've never had a tycoon takeover. So I wouldn't bank on getting a takeover. They happen. I think Jack's had one in his YouTube series, hasn't he? I saw him clickbaiting something about takeovers today. So they can happen. But don't bank on them, because they don't come around very often. As demonstrated by me. We're in the playoff, or we were in the playoff positions very briefly. Imagine if we go back to back to back to back, all the way from non-league to the Premier League. I'd never be able to do non-league to legend again. I'll have officially completed it. I have to come up with a new save idea or get a real job. And both of those sound equally horrific. So we better not get promoted this year. Right. Come along, boys. This is some nice football. Get it to Duvet! Duvet's going to become a cult hero. I'm going to make it happen. Godwin's missed his header there. I have more takeovers occur when they need to wipe a debt. It's more of a reset than big money stuff. Yeah, that happens. Legend to non-league. Yeah. Oi, oi, oi. I only had one mega money takeover playing FM and it placed unrealistic expectations, but had a massive boost to the transfer kitty. Yeah, that sounds about right. I mean, we saw back on Earth 1 when Watford had their massive takeover, all of a sudden they were second favourites to win the Premier League, despite finishing 10th or 11th the season before. So it does put big expectations. He's got to be offside there, surely. I mean, we'll take it, but I think he's offside. Imagine being the Leamington owner, getting a manager in who casually carries you to the Premier League. Would you sell the club? I think at this point you have to sell the club because it's very difficult to run a club at this level profitably. It's different, and it's all well and good being a non-league chairman who can manage a 20 grand overdraft, knowing that occasionally you'll get a cup run that'll bring you back in the black again and it'll all be okay. But doing that at championship level, where you're bouncing in and out of a £2 million overdraft, it's probably quite uncomfortable for the small local businessman owning his local team. So, yeah, I think you panic sell long before the championship. It's a little bit unrealistic that the owner hasn't moved on yet, I think. But I'm sure there would be money consortiums looking at a team like Leamington. The blank slate you've got at this football club, oh, a little bit of tongue, love it. The blank slate you've got here, no ground, no debt, no history. You can literally plonk them anywhere in the West Midlands because we haven't been anywhere near Leamington in 9 years. This club looks very ready for a takeover and a push to the Premier League. Yeah, the network game's tomorrow, but remember, tomorrow is an afternoon network game. So 2 o'clock kickoff tomorrow for the network game. Because it's my daughter's parents' evening. My youngest daughter's final year 11 parents' evening. That's how old I am now. My youngest child's final year 11 parents' evening. I have Tooting in the Premier League, and we've moved from ground sharing at Tooting and Mitcham to Leyton Orient, now sharing at Millwall. Wow. Zealand getting up early. If 2 o'clock UK time is him getting up early, that boy needs a little bit of time with a real job to learn how to get out of bed on time. Because that's still only like 9 or 10 o'clock, isn't it, for him? That's not early. That's not early in anyone's world, getting up at 9 o'clock in the morning. 10 a.m. Yeah, 10 a.m. is not getting up early. That boy needs to have some kids, then learn what getting up early is. Does it make me feel old? Not really. I've been a dad for more than half my life now. It doesn't really, I don't really feel old because of it. It balances out by the fact that I'm a silly social media man. I'm a YouTuber. You can't be an old YouTuber. It's not a thing. My kids make me old. My job keeps me young. And plus, because I had them so young, I'm still not even 40. Yikes. Oh, lovely. Easy. That was easy right there. And we are up. I mean, I guess this is a localish derby for us now. We're in Solihull, away to Birmingham. We've grown beyond the Coventry rivalry we've been building when we were there. We've just won our local derby against Birmingham. Are Birmingham the nearest team to Solihull? Solihull's sort of southeast of Birmingham. Is it, looking at a map? So Villa are up. West Brom and Wolves are the other side, aren't they? Or are they? I would guess Birmingham are probably the closest local rival. It is the closest club to Solihull. Well, there you go. We've just gone there and beaten them. Beautiful. I mean, I've never gone back to back to back to back before. I still don't expect it's going to happen this season. But goodness me. Goodness me. Are those 10 points handy? 5 games in. Chris, thank you for 3 months. Villa closest, Solihull maybe. I'm not asking who's closest to Birmingham. I'm asking who's closest to Solihull. So Birmingham are going to be the closest club to Solihull, aren't they? Don't make me get a map out. I will. I'll map you. Oh, Simone Inzaghi needs to grow up. This guy who you loaned him to us when we were in League Two, he's now getting regular football in the Championship, and you're moaning that I'm not playing him. I mean, what are you moaning about outside of his agreed position? I agreed to play him as a central midfielder, did I? Well, I'm not going to. I'm going to play him where I've played him the last 2 years as an attacking midfielder. So take him back if you got a grumpy on about it. Am I doing it by grounds or borders? Right, we're getting the map out. Can't cope. We need a map. We need a map on incognito so I don't show you my house. Solihull. So Solihull on a map. Yeah, so Solihull is here. And let's have a look where the other grounds are. So Birmingham City Football Club are 8 miles away. Wolverhampton Wanderers Football Club are much further. 35 miles away. West Brom are, like, Walsall are up there. We don't even need to put all these in. West Brom's around here somewhere as well, isn't it? Certainly West Brom's on the way out. Yeah, West Brom's there. And then Villa are up here somewhere, aren't they? Aston Villa are up there, yeah. So they've got an inflator nation, lovely. So yeah, that was our new local derby. Unless is Coventry nearer than Birmingham? Are Coventry still our closest rivals? So it's 8 miles to Birmingham. How far to Coventry? 14 miles. Yeah, Birmingham is our local rivals now. Now we're in Solihull. It's all about beating Birmingham, and we just did. You're welcome. I'm a Leamington fan in real life. Excellent. Leamington are playing at Villa Park in May. Lovely. Who are our rivals in game? Well, they don't really change, do they? So still a bunch of teams will never play again, which is a little bit of a shame. I certainly think Coventry should have made it on here because we were similar level as Coventry for a little while and played in Coventry for 7 years and are now a higher league than Coventry. I'm pretty sure the good people of Coventry aren't big fans of Leamington at this point. Yeah, we've asked for a new stadium loads of times. We can ask again. In fact, we can't ask again. It's not available to ask at the moment. In real life, Coventry are a rival. I mean, maybe Leamington look at it that way. I'm sure Coventry don't look at Leamington as rivals in real life. With all the love in the world to Leamington. Am I going to the Posh game on Tuesday? I probably should, but I probably won't. I've still got like 5 games to use on my half-season ticket. But I just can't be bothered. It's a 2-hour round trip these days, and it's like, well, we're just going to lose anyway. I'll just watch it on the telly. I'm a fair weather fan. If the weather's nice, maybe. Right. I mean, look at these transfers that are being talked about. A £54 million transfer in the league we're in. That's how bonkers this has got. That's an interesting one. That's a really interesting... John Richards. If Gillingham want to give us £500,000 for this guy, yes, we'll take that. Very much we'll take that. That's exactly the kind of deal we need to keep us ticking over. Andy Davies, I would like to keep. I think he's got a future, but Richards at 21, bearing in mind we have no training facilities, he is never going to develop here. So let's sell him while he's got the last remnants of his potential left. I'm almost tempted to offer him out to them, but let's just see if they make an offer. Because the problem with offering them out is they'll offer less. Whereas, I mean, we'll give it, when there's maybe 3 hours to go, we'll offer him out. But we'll hold our nerve until then. I have a YouTube channel where I vlog Leamington games. Could you check it out? Potentially. I mean, I'm going to be at the game on Saturday. You should find us. There's going to be a big group of us there. If you're vlogging the game on Saturday, I'm also vlogging the game on Saturday. There could be some vlogception. Everyone loves vlogception. Going back to the chat about takeovers, I've had a tycoon takeover in the National League, and as enjoyable as it is, kind of ruins the hard work of non-league football. Yeah, but it happens so infrequently, I don't think I'd mind it. It would make for a different save. Like I say, I've been plugging away at this for 25 plus years. If 1 year I get a takeover in non-league and get a tycoon come in, I think I'll cope. I don't think it's ruining anything. Right, 10 hours to go. Etienne Tipple's gone to Middlesbrough. Mönchengladbach. Similar clubs. Both long names beginning with M. But that was a £32 million deal for Etienne Tipple. So he's departed from the Championship. How many hours left? 8 hours left. There you go. There's your done deal. Etienne Tipple to Mönchengladbach. Noah Okafor, another name from Football Manager's past. Is there still interest in Richards? I don't know where he is. He's probably sat in the under 23s. So Gillingham are interested in taking him on a free. Has he not even got a contract? He's on a month-to-month contract. How are we going to get £500,000 for that? Come here and get a contract, you Wally. And sign it in time to leave and get us £500,000. Now he'll go. He'll go for a free now, won't he? Ridiculous. I'm not trying to sign anyone. No, we've got no money. We have absolutely no budget. We're over budget. Well over budget because of the Worcester contract. So, no, we're not trying to bring anybody in. Did I sign all those youngsters? We signed them all. Yeah, every year we make a point of bringing in as many 5-star potential youngsters as possible. How many games past 600 am I? Loads. I have managed Leamington for more games than anyone else in history. I'm expecting to be presented with a shirt on the pitch at the weekend. I'll find out up here, don't I? So I have managed them for 614 games. That's a lot of football matches. And they've still only paid me £575,000. Not even broken £1 million. I've brought in £1.9 million. A profit of £1.5 million to this club, and they've only given me a third of that. Disgraceful. Have they got anything planned for the Saturday game? Not really. We're just going to go and watch the football match and have a nice little meet-up, and it's going to be lovely. We'll watch the match, head into the bar at the ground afterwards, and then everyone can go home, and it'll be splendid. We did it at Nuneaton a few years ago. A splendid time was had by all. I look forward to doing it again. I was playing as Norwich in FIFA and one of my players was missing his head. Nice. That's not ideal. I know you'll all have that overwhelming urge to buy me a beer, so I'll remind you here and now that I don't drink alcohol. So don't buy me a beer. I've had to have those conversations many times before. It's always a little bit awkward when I'm at events and stuff, and someone's like, oh, so here you go, got you a beer. Oh, thanks. I don't drink, but thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate the thought. I don't drink, though. I'll buy you a glass of milk. I'll take a glass of milk. Yeah, drink it. By all means, that's the best thing to do. Buy me a beer and then drink it for me and tell me how nice it was. That's the best thing to do. Buy me a beer, drink it. It's something you can even do online. You don't even have to be there in person. If you just want to buy me a beer on Saturday afternoon, I urge you to do it and then send me a picture of you drinking it and tell me how nice it was, and I'll thank you for it. What's the best soft drink, in my opinion? Dr. Pepper Zero. I'm a big fan of Dr. Pepper, but don't like to drink my calories, so I don't have sugary drinks. But I don't mind rotting my brain with aspartame, so I do have diet soft drinks. Well, I'm not. I guess that's another one I'm not allowed to have. It shows how infrequently I have it. I don't drink any drinks with caffeine in either, apart from coffee, because I have to restrict my caffeine intake. So basically, I just drink water most of the time. I have 3 cups of coffee a day, and the rest of the time I drink water. If I'm out and being fancy, I'll have a sparkling water. Yeah, don't buy me a beer, buy me a Brazilian Wonder Kid. I'm on board with that. Is this the LOLLUJO version of Cheers Simon, Cheers Tim? I'm not sure what that means, but probably. Non-alcoholic drinks, so like beer or ginger beer. I don't drink any of that. Literally just water most of the time. Okay, nice to meet you. This is Angelo from Sao Paulo. I'd like that. that would be great. Yeah, if anyone wants to get into the video, just to do an extra little bit of work for Chris, if anyone wants to get in the match day vlog, send a video of you drinking the beer you got me over the weekend, and he can stitch them all together at the end of the video. Just everyone's like, cheers, Kev. Don't mind that. Oh, there you go. He said the same thing. Send your videos in of a cheers, Kev, and I'll put a little montage together. Tweet them at me, I guess, or put them on Discord. Discord might be better, because then Chris can get them directly rather than me having to send them to him. And then even people who can't attend in person can be part of the meetup. Our first channel meetup in like 3 years. 4 years, maybe? When was Nuneaton? I want to say that was summer 2019. It was towards the end of the 2018-2019 season, I think. Obviously, we've not been able to do one since because someone ate a bat. Chris, have you got admin privileges on the Discord? Could you add a room for it on there? I know you're one of the mods. I don't know if mods can add a channel. Hold on. There you go. I've made you an admin so you can add a channel for it. If you know how to do that, I don't really know how to do it. Discord confuses me. Last meet it was MGPX, but not football related. That is true. So that was 2019. So Nuneaton was 2018, was it? Wow. This is a long time. Someone posted the Discord up there somewhere before. If you need the Discord. At the very end of the Pokemon stream, everything okay? Yeah, everything's fine. Anna's fine. She hasn't been to the doctors, but she's fine now. One day we might get her to go to the doctors, but there's no convincing her, so not a lot I can do. '18 was Nuneaton because you played Blythe, my club. And then 2019, I also saw Blythe play against Kings Lynn, I think. Where does St Albans fit into all this? Because I went to St Albans as well. It all gets very confused. This will be the 4th club that I managed that I've been to see. Specifically because I managed them in FM. Yeah, I got booed out of the changing room at Kings Lynn because I'd already released all the players. St Albans I saw play against Luton in a friendly. The next meetup we were around whichever club I manage next. Yeah, exactly. So hopefully Peterborough Sports, if they sort themselves out. We're off to Schalke. That you were closer than you think to going to Schalke recently. I almost booked it. We had this conversation the other week when you weren't in the stream. You were coming to Schalke as my cameraman. But then we decided against it. Because it was more expensive than I thought it would be. Maybe the world will settle down enough so that next year's non-Leeds Legend can work the way I've been wanting it to work the last 3 or 4 years. Which is every club I manage I go and visit. It'd certainly be fun having to fly out to Madrid for this season's one. The chances of me making it to a Schalke match would have been significantly higher than anywhere in England. Well, maybe one day. We are doing Schalke as the next save on YouTube, so who knows? If we're still managing them at the start of next season, we might be there. If it goes really, really, really well, who knows? Right, another localish derby. We're away against West Brom. Are they the closest club to us now? There's no way of knowing without a map. They're not, because they're not Birmingham. fly to Schalke and get fired the next video I record. There's certainly no fear of them not letting me in the home end at Schalke. I'll just wear all of my Schalke stuff. Kevy 8 layers. Thumb holes. Yeah, you gotta have the thumb holes. I've just decided that's a European thing. It's a weird European thing. They love a thumb hole on the continent. Never had a piece of English team merch that's got thumb holes, but Schalke and Real Madrid, both thumb holes. Don't think it's a coincidence. These Europeans love thumb holes. They're weird like that. They're like thumb holes and nudist beaches. That's what we know about Europeans. And they eat cold breakfasts. Because we all know about... That's what we know as British people about a continental breakfast. Oh, just dry bread and a bit of ham and cheese. Here we combine them and call that a sandwich and have it for lunch. On the continent, that's breakfast, though. Getting your thumb holes and your cheese holes and putting it on your yesterday's bread. I'm going after the Europeans. Cereal for breakfast for me. I don't know. The American influence on you, surely. Isn't most breakfast cold? An English breakfast is not cold. An English breakfast is all bits of dead animal, really hot. Oh, Wooster is making a case for being the best goalkeeper in the country. He is making some incredible saves this season. If he doesn't end up in the English national team, then there's no justice in the world. Surely you can't have a cooked breakfast every day. I mean, I never make a cooked breakfast. The only time I'll ever have a cooked breakfast is if I'm in a hotel. But yeah, apparently that's an English breakfast, and the continental breakfast is just bread and cake. Cake for breakfast is a very continental thing, it seems. Pastries. Thumb holes on my dress have ripped. I'm livid. I mean, they're supposed to... You probably mean ripped more than just the hole, don't you? Cold meats. Bonkers. Chocolate bread if you're French. And that's why the French do food best. Irish breakfast, very good, and I'm English. What's the difference between an Irish breakfast and an English breakfast? I'm intrigued. I'm assuming it's a similar idea. It's just an English breakfast with a pint of Guinness. Pain au chocolat is class, although I'm more of a croissant man. French cuisine is best. Of course it is. French food's great. Potato cakes. Is that what... I mean, I'm probably going to offend every Irish person here. Is that just like a hash brown then? What's a potato cake? We're winning another football match, by the way. Another local derby. Are we actually going to get promoted again? Can you imagine? Theodros in the championship. That's what I'm talking about. Croissants. My favourite thing to do. I mean, you know what I'm like at hotel breakfast. By this point, I've already filled my pockets. And I've already made a sandwich for lunch. I've got all the Marmite, all the Nutella, all the peanut butter. I've got an apple. I've got a banana. I've got my lunch sorted. I've got my condiments sorted. The very last thing I do for breakfast, after I've finished my actual breakfast, grab a croissant, stick a couple of bits of bacon in it, eat it in the lift. Beautiful. That's how you finish a sentence. A sentence, a breakfast, and a sentence. Can't wait to try and make this make sense in the video. That's why you earn the big bucks, Chris. Smoked salmon is the king of hotel breakfast. Ugh. Don't give me fish for breakfast and expect me to be happy. We're serving up kippers next. When am I restocking the Marmite supply? Well, I'm in a Premier Inn in a month. The night before Disney will be in a Premier Inn because we're on the 5 a.m. Eurotunnel. Well, it's not quite that early. It's like we time it. We discovered last time, I think McDonald's normal menu turns over to McDonald's breakfast menu. It's either 5 or 5:30. So there's a McDonald's between the Premier Inn near the Eurotunnel and the Eurotunnel terminal. Andy doesn't eat McDonald's breakfasts. None of the rest of us want hamburgers before we go. So we time it just right so we can get there just as they're finishing normal menu, so we can get him some hamburgers and then immediately order us some breakfast and then get on the train. So what was the question? Yeah, we're at a Premier Inn then, but of course we're not having breakfast then, so that's irrelevant. But when we get back from Disney, we're staying in a Premier Inn again that night, so we'll stock up on Marmite and stuff then. That's what the question was, I remember. Every Euro country has a special ham or bacon. Experience these at a hotel breakfast is a treat. Anna was furious when we stayed in a hotel in Belgium a few years ago, and they only had continental breakfast on. They didn't have any, because obviously they're on the continent. They didn't have English breakfast. There was no bacon or anything like that. No meat at all. It was literally just bread and cheese. I think it's because we were in a super budget hotel. So I feel like the Belgians probably have more than bread and cheese for breakfast, surely. Where were the waffles? I was expecting waffles from floor to ceiling. I shunned the breakfast and went out into town and got a waffle for a wafflery, which I believe is what they call the shops that waffles come from. A wafflearium. Can Warrington actually play centre-back? Because we are a little light on centre-backs. We'll leave them two on. Get Duvet on. If I could only eat one animal for the rest of my life, what am I picking? Chicken, probably. I don't know. Because if you ate pork or beef every day, the rest of your life isn't going to be very long, is it? Your arteries will clog up in no time. So I guess if I've got to have, I don't know, I guess I'd choose chicken. Chicken is the worst option. Chicken's the healthy option, isn't it? Most days, certainly once you get to my age, boys and girls, duvets in again. Most meals aren't about enjoyment. They're about trying not to die too soon. You only eat for enjoyment on special occasions. So if we're talking about I'm only allowed a certain thing for the rest of my life, I eat a healthy option more often than I eat a delicious option. I'm not eating meat every day, but pork and beef brings so much more flavour. I guess. I don't think you have to eat the animal every day. Just don't. I guess, well, in that case, I suppose I'm saying pork, because then I can have bacon. When I had that 3 month... We are thumping West Brom here, by the way. West Brom 0, Leamington 5 in a league match. We're going to the Premier League. I actually think I'd go beef rather than pork, because when I was vegan for a while, I didn't really miss bacon, because vegan bacon's fine. But I'm not a massive fan of the vegan burgers. So I'd probably rather, if it was just a case of you can only have one particular type of meat and you don't have to have it regularly, I'll probably just every now and again have a hamburger. I don't even particularly like steak. It would be, I'd want a good hamburger every now and again. I can't believe what we've just seen. We've just won 5-0 away from home in the Championship. I think we need to talk to Earth One Kev and tell him the diamond is very much not dead. What a start to the season. Yeah, we're playing Man United in the EFL Cup soon. Tempted to try one of those plant burgers, but can never bring myself to order one in lieu of an actual burger. I mean, they're not terrible. They're just not the same. Leamington is playoff bound. I'm pretty sure we get found out at some point. The job is get 50 points on the board before we get found out. This is still our promotion momentum. Remember, we have a hell of a lot of momentum off the back of 3 consecutive promotions. McDonald's just got the Beyond Meat burger. It's actually better than the real beef burgers they have. Yeah, I don't eat McDonald's burgers at all because they're disgusting. I did clarify before. I'd have a good burger. Like a Shake Shack or a Five Guys. Oh, come on. Let's make it to the Premier League. Can you imagine? Oh, that would be insane. Right. Derby now, then. We've had 2 derbies. Now we play Derby. So we do things around here. Theodros is 26 or 27 now, I think. Still in the team. 26. Turns 27 just before Christmas. What a career. How we kept hold of him for all that time, for him to then be that good in the Championship, is baffling, really. He obviously just loves it here. We're not even on his favoured clubs. His favourite club is still Bognor Regis, that he had a 1-season loan at way back then. If we keep this up, Theodros could genuinely play for us in the Premier League and become one of the greatest ever channel legends. Which would be sensational, really. Come on, look at this football. Look at it. Look at it. That's why it doesn't matter that he can't tackle. He can do that. Where's Chris looking smug now? Look what he's just done in the Championship. That is beautiful football. You don't need to be able to concentrate to score a goal like that. You just need to be exceptional at football. We are top of the Championship. Stop the count. Stop the count. We're tweeting that out. What is going on? Premier League. Here we come. Beautiful. Now we lose every game from now on. Now I've tweeted that out. It all goes wrong. We're top of the championship. Oh, I can never close the game. We have to play out the whole season now. 24-hour stream incoming. I don't know what you mean. Shut up, Siri. Attributes are for losers, and we're proving it yet again. Because there's his assist. A goal and an assist from the guy you wouldn't have signed, Chris. This needs to be in the video as well. If you're putting that other bit in, this is in too. Beautiful. Oh, and it's all built on this solid defence. Look at us. Look at us go. Give it to Mainu again. Theodros again. Oh. Yeah, just to clarify, I still expect to finish mid-table this season. This is absolutely the morale, the momentum from the back-to-back-to-back promotions. And we will lose a game. And when we lose a game, we'll start losing lots of games. That is the way it happens. But like I say, the important thing is get enough points on the board now that we are safe from relegation and then start building from there. Once we're an established championship club, huzzah. Oh, the dream is happening. The fact that we play Manchester United, is it next or the one after next? We'll lose that 6-0 and that'll be the confidence gone then. And that Manchester United game will ruin the rest of the season for us, even though it's in the League Cup. That'll be our first defeat. And from there, it'll be like, oh, I see. Look at that tracking back from Theodros. The man is the definition of a box-to-box midfielder. He's built of energy. Look at him. Chase him back. Just so he can cover. Weather report. Looks freezing cold out there. It's not snowing yet, but it might. It's going to be lovely at the football on Saturday, isn't it? You say I don't want to get promoted this year. I absolutely do want to get promoted this year. I don't mind going up and coming back down. 1 year in the Premier League now will make those next 3 or 4 years in the Championship so much easier because we'll have £30 million that we didn't have before, or 40 million, or whatever it is. The new ground will be being built. We'll have all the money. A year in the Premier League now, even if it is a relegation, would be excellent long term because they won't sack me, obviously. We'll just make a load of money. They wouldn't let us in the Premier League. They'd find a rule to stop us playing there. We don't have a right back on the bench. That seems like an oversight. Come on, we want to get Duvet on. Right, what am I doing here? Trying to take him off. Get Duvet on. There you go. Switch out the entire midfield. Get some energy in there. Theoretically, someone built of energy couldn't be another way to call someone fat. I don't mind it. I'm built. That's how I'm going to describe myself from now on. I am built of energy. I'm 100% energy. Oh, this is some nice football again. We've got a lot of nice footballers who play very nice football. We create so much space. Come on, a third here would be spectacular. Give it to little Kev. I know we don't have a stadium. We are playing in Solihull. It's our second ground share of the series. One day we might get a stadium of our own. Look, we've got 3 Pims tents. So that's nice. Anyone wants... I mean, there's brick wall with no gate all the way around, so you can't get to them. But they're there, and that's what matters. Come on, boys. Come on. Just hold on. We want to end the match top of the league. Ho, ho, ho! Can you imagine being a Leamington fan in that crowd on that day? Singing about being top of the championship. You won't know what's hit you. I don't want to see Robert starting. Well, Jimmy, you're an idiot then, aren't you? Jimmy is a moron. Jimmy is a moron. That's what I want the fans chanting. That's my post-match press conference. Just this one goes out to Jimmy O'Keefe, who made himself look an idiot pre-match on Twitter. Managers need to do more of that. I'd love to know the thinking behind the designs of some of the around the stadium bits on FM. I feel like they're procedurally generated. That's the only explanation for it, surely. I can't believe someone's actually designing them. Oh, hold on. Someone at the door. 1 second. Hey, by the way, move. Was Dave trying to stream by himself? Did you just see my bumhole? Sorry, boys and girls. You shouldn't have looked, quite frankly, you bunch of perverts. You're welcome. I mean, frankly, you didn't have to look. Bunch of perverts. Both of them. The injured one's just about healed up now. Have you noticed I've not had to stand up or streaming for a while? It's quite hard not to see. It's like an eighth of the screen. You didn't need to be looking at that part of the screen. You're here for the football manager, not my sexy body, you bunch of perverts. Treat me like a human, not a piece of meat. Wayne's World subbing. I mean, to be fair, do you want the OnlyFans link as well? Thank you very much, Wayne's World. Right, let's do another football, shall we? We face Hull. That's the content I needed. I love it. Oh, I might do an OnlyFans after all. I think I just threw up a bit in my mouth when you mentioned OnlyFans. When we get to 1,000 subs on here, I'll open an OnlyFans. There you go. I've said it. And we've scored a football goal! I don't really understand OnlyFans. Do I have to get my kit off? What are the rules? I don't have to. Oh, then I'll definitely do it. 1,000 subs on here. We're doing OnlyFans. You can just hold a Pokemon card. Well, I've got these oversized ones that I could use. If that's all I'm holding. Let's hold one of these up in front of me. Did we just score again? It's gone blurry. Don't you wish it was blurry like this before? Possibilities of OnlyFans content with Pokemon cards. How are we winning but not top of the league anymore? Oh, we are back to the top. Okay. As OnlyFans full of just YouTube thumbnails and the attribute polygons for your favourite players. Hold a Pokemon card and help. Oh, you're a bunch of perverts. Stop treating me like a piece of meat. My eyes are up here. Goodness me. But I need to edit the OnlyFans content. Well, someone's got to, Chris. It may as well be you. I'll sort you out of a free membership to it. As part of your compensation package. Hot tub stream when? Well, I did buy a paddling pool last year. Oh, look at us footballing again. Oh, look at us. Oh. I will do a posture check. He'll need therapy as part of his compensation package. He'll be fine. I love the fact that Armani Gilks is still such a part of this team as well. So many of our boys who've been here for so long. It's beautiful. Come on, let's have another one. Minu can't concentrate, but does create a goal, nearly. Nearly. All right. Come along, gentlemen. The strikers are both shattered. Oh, we could have a little bit of tongue. No, we'll bring Hughes on. There's Chris off again. I thought he'd already left. He keeps coming back. He can't stay away. Is that the door again? Can't be Pokemon cards. I'm not getting shouted at yet. Oh, Wooster. What a season he's having. We might have a look at the XG table in a minute. Because I feel like Wooster is earning us a lot of points by how good he is. Oh dear, that's some poor defending. Yeah, that's a poor goal giveaway. Is that disallowed? Linesman's got his flag up. What a man. What a man. What a linesman. Oh, it's another win. All we know how to do is win football matches. And now we play Manchester United. It's going to be spectacular. Lovely, lovely, lovely. It is a thing of beauty. Do the media still think we're getting relegated? Yes. Yes, they do. Rubbish. Have I purchased more Pokemon cards after an expensive unboxing the other day? I don't even remember. I've ordered loads. I don't know what's arrived. You can't see that shelf up there, can you? I've got There's a lot. There's a massive box in the cupboard under the stairs. There's a cupboard full of them there, and there's a whole shelf full of them up there, all still sealed. I'm just buying everything. Everything they sell, I'm buying it. I love it. Right, we were looking at the... with good reason as well, because a lot of it is stuff that's going to be used for future box breaks. So I'm buying them this financial year. See what he's doing. He's always got a plan. Right, how do you do XG table again? It's on here, isn't it? We only did this yesterday, but I'm interested. Ha! Yeah, on the XG table, we should be 9th. That's called the difference Wooster's making. What a man. Speaking of Pokemon cards, can you do me a favour and check whether I put the right address on my orders? How would I know if it's the right address or not, Beagles? Are you going to message me privately with what the address should be? Right. Are you ready for Leamington versus Manchester United? Woo! Meanwhile, the team in 15th should be first. Wow. I mean, it's still very early in the season. I guess that kind of stuff will average out over the course of the season, but that gives you more of an idea of where we should finish. You can message me. Twitter probably is the easiest place, Beagles. I'm more likely to read it there. Unless you want me to give you a clue here, like you could give me a house number now and I can tell you if that's right. And is that going to give you enough information? That's probably the really easy way to do it without doxing you right now. Number 28. Right, let's have a look. Guess I got to find you first, haven't I? Yes, that is your shipping address. Yes, your billing address is different to your shipping address. No, my Twitch is no longer in Turkish. Breaking news. It is now in English again, so they have finally fixed it. No, I've not done the network game tweets yet. Apparently they have 30 days now, so I guess they're waiting until you have forgotten that I'm owed them. And then they'll stitch me up with them. I need help with my journeyman and which team to go to. I go to a Swedish team who are offering me 425 wage, but only 150 wage budget. Or an Israeli team are offering £150 as a wage, but 22.5k in wage budget. I'd go to the first one. More wages, lower expectation. Right. Let's have a little looky then. Manchester United. Who'd have thought? Amari Theodros, when he signed for Leamington 10 years ago, that he would be playing Manchester United whilst top of the championship. Hat-trick from him today, and I'll give him his knighthood finally. Man United have made 11 changes, I just noticed. So you never know. We do have a player called Tongue. If United have put the reserves out and we're in form on top of the championship, there's a small inkling of a chance here. The guy at Man United who you're referring to has been edited out to a point. I don't have the editor on this save, but I used the thing. I used a thing to change his name and removed his face from the face pack. So, oh, you know what? He might just get his knighted here. What a man. What a man. What a moment. It's just absurd. Oh, David Roberts, another one of our non-league heroes. Commanding header. Worcester against his old club. Bit of an iffy save. We're 1-0 up against Manchester United. I don't really know what's going on. As someone's pointed out, they've got Sechon in their team, who 5 years in the future in an alternate universe plays for me at Real Madrid. Theodros, unbelievably, is not a legend at Leamington yet, no. The only legend at the club is me. That's a bit of a shame. It's a well-worked free kick, but a little bit of a shame all the same. But still. Come on, boys. Remember, hat-trick and you get United. Oh, Edwards is in. It's a battle of the headbands. Come on, boys. Let's do the unthinkable. Our defenders are good. I like them very much. They're certainly good at heading the ball away. Not quite so good when you run at them along the floor, as we just saw there. But they can just head the ball away all day long. They're good lower league defenders. Right, now we have to go attacking and try and get back into the game. This can't end well for us, surely. It might be duvet time. Right, Hughes is coming on. Little Kev is coming on. And I think it's also time for duvet. Come on, duvet. Theodros is going off. He's shattered. He's done all his running for today. But duvet with a chance to make himself a hero again. Oh, duvet giving the ball away now. When was the last time I needed a sub-keeper in FM? Years ago. Like, as in real life years. Not FM years. I've used one when I've been in a grumpy, but actually needing one because of an injury or a red card, years. Might grab an equaliser here. Oh! The traffic is fine out there. I had a look when I was doing the weather before. Traffic is all clear. Come on, boys. Oh, no, this is fine. This won't wreck morale, only losing 2-1. We're ahead on XG. Come on, give us that late equaliser. Give us the moment. Let somebody step up and make themselves a hero. Go on, little Kev. Come on, Godwin. Come on, Duvet. Oh, Duvet. Oh, come on, this is it. Whip that ball into the area. Arichi, no. Oh. Look at them wasting time. They're afraid of us. Oh, and here's number 3. This guy's quite good, isn't he? I'm going to assume he's a Brazilian wonder kid because he's only got one name. I'm not going to check. I'd rather just the narrative be we were done in by a Brazilian wonder kid. Then I'll feel better about it. Oh, they are knocking the ball around us quite easily now. We're tiring. When was the last time we touched the football? It's been a while. Oh, dear. Never mind, eh? We came close. Hopefully, they can all keep their heads up after that, but they're all demotivated. Brilliant. They felt like they should have won, clearly. Disappointing collapse. We were playing Manchester United. Football 365 need a reality check. See, problematic. This is where the beginning of the end of the good run. That's where it begins to go wrong. Mind you, we should beat Forest Green. Fingers crossed. If we beat Forest Green, we drag things back. And we keep the run going. Forest Green are 23rd. How much money did we make? Probably almost none. We only have a 6,000 capacity. Yeah, we probably no more than we did from the Hull game. Or the Derby game that were also sellouts. We're selling out every match now. But because we don't have a proper stadium, it doesn't make a difference. Dario Silva of Stoke. Why are we being recommended players who are on £18,000 a week? Ridiculous. Right. Come on, gentlemen. We pick ourselves up, we dust ourselves off, and we go and beat Forest Green. But we're going to have to do it tongueless because he's injured. But Phil Scott's still a hero. What a hero. What a man. Oh, will you stop asking me to play players? We're top of the league for a reason. If your player's not in the team, it's because he's not good enough. I still think finishing just outside the relegation zone will be fine. I think we go on a run just as bad as the good one has just been. That's you know how to make sense of what I just said, even if the words were in the wrong order. I think we have a horrible run in us yet this season. Because we've got the double whammy boost. We've got the momentum from just being promoted, and we've got everybody putting their reserves out against us because of our reputation. Once we hit the halfway point of the season, teams will stop rotating against us because they'll think, hang on, they're at the top of the table. Probably have to try against them. And then we'll start picking up a few defeats, and then it will snowball, and we won't win many games after Christmas, if my experience of a first season in the Championship or anything to go by. We'll do well until Christmas. We won't win much after. What's Theodros's potential? It was 5-star when he arrived 10 years ago. He's 26 now, so I think at this point he's maxed out his potential. I think he's just 4-star now. Go on, slot it through. Lovely ball. Ooh. Why am I in a change of kit against Forest Green? I don't know. No idea. Perhaps the game thinks they clash, or maybe it's just because we're away from home and teams often wear their away kit away from home. Oh, look at us. Look at us. Look at us go. Yeah, Warrington was one of our... He was one of the players who broke our transfer record. Oh, see. We've now had the Man United defeat. We're now losing the star defender. It begins. Right, Fagan came in to be a fullback. But looks like he'll be a perfectly adequate centre-back. I'd really like to be able to put Godwin in there. But alas, we cannot. Oh, Walsh is in there, though. Oh. In my road to glory, I took a team from tier 10 to the Prem, and the club had a takeover, and I got sacked before I could play one game with the Prem. Wow. Yeah, I'd be a little cross about that. I'm surprised they sacked you after all that. Oh, it's Edwards. I thought it was Roberts at the far post. It's Edwards who heads home. Beautiful. Beautiful stuff. Always good for a headband goal in this team. There must have been about 8 of them offside there. Yeah, the linesman's flag is up. 4 points clear at the top of the championship with a game in hand. That's how we do it. It's not even going to be close. Promoted by Christmas. I think we're 12 seasons in now. Leamington are heading for the Champions League. Maybe not quite yet. Oh, come on, Tommy. You're getting £5,500 a week now. You should be saving those. Let's have a look from the other angle. Yeah, feel like you should be saving that. How does weather swing by 12 degrees in a day? What, in Football Manager or in real life? I need to know if this is a game question or a geography question. Oh, it's a real life question. I don't know. Weather is the answer, probably. Something to do with moon cycles. Have I checked out Moon Knight yet? Is that out? Did that come out today? I haven't, but I will later. Oh! Oh! Is it onside? How accurate are the salaries for FM teams in League One? Fairly accurate, I think. Obviously, no one really knows, but they're in the rough kind of ballpark, I think. See, Roberts is tiring, but probably not the time to take him off. Episode 1, is it the normal, like, 20-30 minute episode affair? If so, I'll convince Anna we need to watch that later. That is another championship win right there, boys and girls. That is a big result. 40 minutes. So it's like I wonder if that's a double episode or if they're all going to be that kind of length. That's a little bit harder to fit into the routine. A 3 to 4 week injury for Phil Scott is not ideal. We're going to miss him for that amount of time. He's our best defender. Arguably our best player. Because he's 6'5" and you can't teach that. Would I recommend buying booster boxes from eBay or stick to proper web stores? I would say for the amount of money you're likely to save, which is probably fairly minimal, I would buy them from a proper store because, I mean, I imagine 90% of what you can buy on eBay is completely legit. But how do you identify the 10%? I don't think I'd buy booster boxes off of eBay. Leeds manager Pepe Reina. Sam, thank you for 11 months. Do you get rid of player promises during contract negotiations? As much as I can, but sometimes they refuse to be got rid of. Yeah, chase games I've used a little bit. Most of what I've been buying is from Magic Madhouse. I get a couple of bits from my local shop. So there's a few places I've even bought the odd. I wouldn't buy booster boxes from from Pokemon Center, but some of the other stuff on Pokemon Center is pretty decent. I think Elite Trainer boxes, that'll be my go-to because you get the Pokemon Center exclusive ones. And they've got a couple of extra packs in. Amani Gilks getting in the championship team of the week. Coventry must be fuming. They had him, they messed it up. And now he's a star man in the division above them. That'll learn you, Coventry. That'll learn you. Right, at least we've got Godwin to come back in at the back. Another one of our long-serving heroes. Right, let's do another football. Leamington versus Stoke. Easy. A noise out there. It's almost as if school buses full of kids are noisy. Who'd have thought? Yawn, yawn, yawn. Right, come on. Let's do a football. An early football. You made me yawn. Sorry. Won't be doing that from Monday. Not that there's a stream on Monday because I'm getting my CPAP machine. Hopefully that should be the end of me yawning through streams because I'll be sleeping properly. You are? What? Yeah, I don't know where the screwdriver is. I told you this morning I don't know where the screwdriver is. Yeah, that's where it's supposed to be. Oh, she's being cross. Our doorbell's run out of battery. Although it hasn't, because I got an alert from it 10 minutes ago when I showed you all my bumhole. Hang on, we scored, didn't we? What's going on here? So our goal was disallowed via shenanigans, apparently. Well, Not happy about that. Is this where it all starts to go wrong? Come on, boys. We're better than Stoke. Let's go attack him. Oh, dear. Oh, dear me. Offside, maybe? Offside, referee? It's been such a good stream. This is where it ends. We have still got a game in hand, which is awesome. I'm demanding more. Somebody do a football. We're nothing without Phil Scott. Look at the width we've got. Bearing in mind we're playing a really narrow formation, we're so much wider than they are. Because our fullbacks are awesome. I mean, we're being FM'd here. Not happy about it. Come on, boys. Come on, football. Football. Which is what one of the things we'll be chanting on Saturday when we see Leamington gloriously succeed in real life. I assume Theodros will be playing. If he's not, I'll be furious. Oh my word. Yeah, we are not the same defensive side without Phil Scott in there. This could be a troublesome month without him. Right, come on, tired little legs. All of you tired little leg creatures. Off you all come. Get duvet on. How do I feel about Posh's survival chances? I think we're already relegated. If we survive, it's a magical miracle. But I'm pretty confident we're already down. I hope I'm wrong. Sort of. I don't even know if I do. I kind of fancy a promotion season again next year rather than another relegation battle. Oh, we're getting battered here. This isn't a good sign. The honeymoon is over, everybody. Boo hiss. We like honeymoons. We can't even get the ball back. They've just got all the time in the world. And a red card to go with it. Hooray! Yay! Red card! Boo. Can't Scott play injured? What was his actual injury? I think we should just play him injured. Oh, dear me. Oh, dear. We are just chasing shadows in this game. Stoke seem like quite a good side. I don't understand that mentality. Why, with 5 minutes to go when we're 3-0 down, would we go very defensive? Seems completely counterintuitive. We're trying to score goals. We're staying attacking. Everything was going very well until this game. We were top of the championship going into this match. We might still be top of the championship now, actually. Because we were a good few points clear. Yeah, we are still top after this. Top with the game in hand. Just this match did not go to plan. Barnsley next. Easy. Another fine for failing to control our players. That's our second one this season. Birmingham are top now, are they? Never mind. Our local rivals. Our local list of local rivals. Yes, we're going to keep postponing as many matches as we can until Scott is back. That just makes good sense. Right. How have we not got players winning stuff like this? I love the fact Godwin's been here forever. And he's still only 21, up for young player stuff. This is his 4th year of being a starter. That's how good he is. How did I not win Manager of the Month? I'm top of the championship with Leamington. And this clown wins it ahead of me. He hasn't even combed his hair for the photograph. Fish. Right, come on. Let's get back to winning ways against Barnsley. Easy peasy. Dempster there. Oh, he can play there. Well, what do you know? What do you know? Let's go do a football then. We are certainly light defensively for this game. No Roberts or Scott. Doesn't bode well for us. Edwards got a yellow card before the match had even started there, I think. He just smacked the referee on the way out of the tunnel or something. Oh, come on, Hughesy. He's in. Remember when he used to score them? Oh no 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 no. Offside referee, come on. The wheels are off. It's all going wrong. This is all Manchester United's fault. Blame that we're going to sue them. Oh, down to 5th as it stands. That's horrible. Maybe we'll end the stream early. Get a new RNG going. We've used up all the wins we were allocated for today's session. We just had them all consecutively at the start of the stream. No, why have I clicked calm down? Calm down is the wrong button. I don't want them to calm down. I want them to whip themselves up into a frenzy. I wouldn't put this down to morale simulator. I put this down to the fact that our 2 starting centre-backs are not in the team. And we are in a bit of a rough run, so morale is obviously going to have an impact. I mean, that screamed guy who's not used to playing centre-back. Guy who's not used to starting. Guy who's probably not ready to start. It's the Scott injury more than anything that's the problem. We just have to wait for him to come back and hope we're not too ruined by then. Ultimately, we have 22 points on the board already. That's halfway. Nearly halfway to our target for the season. That'll do. We'd certainly take this amount of points at this stage of the season. We're doing good. Weaver's now injured. Right, get a little bit of tongue on there. See if that makes a difference. Because once again, we're ahead for XG. It's not that we're playing badly. We're just getting a little bit of luck at the back and we're not taking our chances going forward. That will all change if we keep playing well. Come on, Duvet. We have a goal, please. Oh, come on, Hughesy. You're better than that. Just about to win the league with 3 minutes left of the game I was playing. Game crashed, hadn't saved. Oh, dear. How long ago since you'd saved? As in, you hadn't saved before that match, or you hadn't saved since the start of the season? Because that second one might be upsetting. The first one you can deal with. Right, we are still, if we win our game in hand, we do go back to the top of the league. So it's not all gone wrong yet. And now we've got 14-day break. You know what that means. Little bit of a fitness friendly. Squeeze it in there purely for fitness reasons. Just need to keep some energy in the local boys. Against Cadbury Athletic. Hopefully we get some free chocolate as well as part of that. Just purely for fitness reasons, that is. No other motivation behind it. Just to keep us fit whilst the international break is going on. Because most of these teams, their whole squads are going off to play international football. For us, not as many. We've got a lot of our squad do need a friendly just to keep them match fit. That's all it's for. There's no other reason to do it. Glad we cleared that up. Halkin and Flint Mountain. If they were nearby, then we would. They are not. Guy looks like Batista. Oh. I'm glad you all agree. Perhaps it was him. Perhaps he's a secret football manager and none of us knew. It's only Foxy. Hello, Foxy. How you doing? Coming in and capitalising my name like a hooligan. What? Where? What? Oh, hold on. It's the friendly. I was like, where the hell are all my players? We're doing a friendly during the international break. I understand. We just talked about this. I remember. What time are we getting there? I'm planning on getting there probably about 2 o'clock. Just in case there's talk of maybe pre-match shenanigans. So just to allow for time for pre-match shenanigans, I'm going to get there early. Plus I want a parking space. I don't have to abandon my car in a field nearby or something. So I'm aiming for about 2 o'clock, I think. Just in time for the team talk and picking the team. Well, that's what I'm thinking. If they need me to step in and pick the team, then I'm there, aren't I? Just in case. Nine 0. That's some good fitness, boys and girls. Parking's pretty decent. I was there before to catch you. Happy to help with anything you need. You're a good boy. Get me picking the team. Can you help with that? Between the two of us, if we kidnap the manager, and then when they're like, oh, I don't know where the manager's gone, I can step in and go, well, here I am. And try and convince them that I was the manager all along. Aston Vanilla, our local rivals, want to give me a job interview. I'm not interested. Get out of here, Villa. Cadbury Athletics seems like an odd name. Would you like calling your teams? I don't know what Stanner is. I mean, I imagine it's the team. Is Cadbury a place? Or is it named after the factory? I love if you just stroll into the dressing room with a piece of paper and all the current abilities on. I did that in Nuneaton a few years ago. Went in there and told them all how good or bad they were in the game. It went down well with some of them, not so well with some of the others. Big Tasty, thank you for the sub. It's named after the factory. It's in a place called Bourneville. I used to play for them. Well, there we go. Bourneville's the town, Cadbury. And so Bourneville's the dark chocolate, isn't it? They named the dark chocolate they do after the town that they're in. And I guess the factory was owned by a fella called Cadbury, presumably. You'd get a chocolate bar at half-time rather than an orange slice. Amazing. Bourneville's a place in Birmingham. Are they our local rivals? Cadbury. Yeah, Cadbury were one of the teams we were looking at managing, but we did Isle of Man instead. And then the save went kaput anyway. I'm glad we didn't waste a good opportunity for free chocolate on a save that didn't last very long. When I do manage Cadbury, I want to get into the opportunity where they send me an Easter egg or something. Like a box of Cadbury's cream eggs. I want to get involved with someone at the factory and tell them they need to do 6 packs of Cadbury's cream eggs again. This 5-pack nonsense is offensive. Literally 2 minutes from my house, they used to have old Wembley turf. Interesting. Tyler Goodrum's back. He hasn't got a club yet. He's 29. Are you ready to become a coach yet, Tyler? There is always a role for you at Leamington. We really should try and get him there for this weekend. Isle of Menacee are doing well in the league. Second last time I checked. Excellent. He built the town. You can't buy alcohol in Bourneville. Is that so? But even now, seems like an unusual rule. He was a Quaker. There we go. Right. How has the morale? It hasn't really helped playing that fitness friendly. Not that we were doing it for morale. We're not cheesing the game. We did it purely for fitness reasons. But it doesn't seem to have helped the morale as much as it might have done. Right, back to winning ways here, gentlemen. It's the Relay Derby. Come on, boys. Come on, boys. For goodness sake. Oh, it's offside. Excellent. Daniel Sturridge used to play for Cadbury, did he? Music makes me think I'm in an arcade. Then mission accomplished. Don't you wish you were in an arcade? Arcades are wonderful places. Oh, what a through ball. What a through ball. See, you don't need decisions and concentration and tackling and marking to be any good at football. Don't waste attributes on stuff you don't need to score goals. Use them all on being good at doing that. Boom. We're back. That's some questionable defending again that we've just about got away with. Oh, Edwards is in. Come on, headband. We did a football. That's the end of the Cadbury Athletic history lesson for today. I enjoyed it. We're 2-0 up after 5 minutes. We're back. All we needed was the international break to get our fitness back. It's a nice goal. It's a very nice goal. 2 very similar goals. We're now level on points again at the top of the championship, but we're the team with the game in hand because we are Leamington, aka greatest team in the history of doing a football. Portsmouth at the top of the league. What are they doing in the championship? What do they think this is? Oh, Theodros is in. Oh. Any more Saturday if I make it. I can tell you're excited. I am pretty excited. Does Saturday's history lesson come with a chocolate bar? Because that will make me even more excited. I do get giddy if I have a lot of sugar. Nobody wants to see me giddy. Oh, that's a big cross. Oh, Tommy Wooster. Oh, what a man. What a goalkeeper. He is a good player. He's worth every penny of this £5.5 a week. That's it. Just hold the ball for the next hour. They can't score if you're holding the football. Did I play Cadbury for a boost? I don't like boosts. They taste funny. Whatever's in them that makes them magical tastes funny. How are we down to... We're not down to 5th. Why did that say we were down to 5th? We're up to 4th again. Derby and Stoke have now both scored, but we've still got a game in hand. It's a shame Leamington aren't that good in real life. I mean, we are 12 years in the future. There's a Solskjaer on the pitch. We are 12 years in the future, so who's to say Leamington won't be this good in 12 years? Remember, it took me 9 years to get out of non-league. We've taken our time to get to this point. It's only in these last few years within a Football League team. We just then put the afterburners on as soon as we hit the Football League. One day we'll take them back to Leamington. Fed up of being in Solihull, even though there's a big Tesco here. And TGI Fridays. Oh, why was my phone ringing? One of my small children. That's another save from Worcester. They know I stream in the afternoon. You'll just have to wait, small child. If you're watching, 4 o'clock, try again. You're probably not watching. Yeah. Have I moved house on Earth too due to the stadium moves? We did move to Coventry. I think we looked at a Solihull house, didn't we, a couple of years ago when we first relocated again, which I guess is when we second relocated. The Jaguar Land Rover factory can be seen from the ground in Solihull. Wow, what a thing to be able to see. Free Jaguars for everybody. Kind of tempted to get Andy Davies on. Would this be his debut? No, he played 4 games for us last year. I don't remember him playing. Let's get him on and have a look at him. Because he's potentially going to be our next big money guy. That's Birmingham Airport. Birmingham Airport is a wonderful place because of the NEC, which is a really wonderful place. Started playing FM this year. Your intro vid this year really helped me get started, so I appreciate it. Well, I'm glad it helped. That's what it's there for. Solihull's nice but expensive, is it? Come on, chaps. We were 2-0 up after 5 minutes. Where's it all gone wrong? We're out of the playoffs as it stands. This is a difficult league, isn't it? It's tight at the top. I think he's very offside there. When I used to work in banking many years ago, Solihull is where we would have our monthly meetings. Because it was roughly equal distance from all of our different territories that we were in. I remember there being a pub there and a big Tesco. And then I stayed in an Airbnb there a few years ago for a convention. And that's all I know about Solihull. Isn't there a garden centre in the Tesco car park? I know that much as well. Or is that all part of the Tesco? It's very complicated. Which bank? Bristol and West. Which no longer exists. You're welcome. I'm a Lloyd's guy. There we go. Pepe Reina needs to back off about this goalkeeper that's not any good because he's no Wooster. And because of that, he's not going to play, is he? Rockstar Spurs used to work for Lloyd's on my floor before he went to WWE. That's brilliant. I love that. I want to work with a wrestler. There's a Not Cuts near a big Tesco, but that's outskirts of Solihull near the motorway junction. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. The pub we used to have the meetings at was a little bit further on than that. And that's where I'd fill up with petrol to come back home again. Because it was... the region I was part of was weird. They kind of split the country into 3. But we had the Bristol lot, plus all the Midlands lot. But my territory was Norfolk and Cambridgeshire. So I had to mooch all the way over to Solihull from Peterborough. Very upsetting. Might as well have gone all the way to Bristol. They'd have put me up in a hotel if I'd have gone to Bristol. But no, we used to have to go to Solihull and do it all in one day. Notcuts Garden Centre do great lasagna. Well, there you go. Right, how are we doing for time? I think we should be able to squeeze one more game in this afternoon before we abandon for non-league to legend. So let's do exactly that. We're going to play Swansea. Andy, thank you for 2 months. What a wonderful thing. Mike doesn't want us to play a football match because he wants us to fanny about finding his player and having a look at him. That's a moderator for you there. Doesn't care. There you go. You are playing for Notaresco. We'll scout you. You're an Austrian in the lower leagues in Italy who's never played a football match and doesn't have a contract. So we could just sign you. Should we take him on trial? There you go. We're going to take Mike on trial. He's a winger, so we're definitely not going to be using him. It's closest for most people rather than everyone. Well, I get their argument was the furthest away in my direction was me. The furthest away in the other direction was Bristol. We had a guy who had to come down from Liverpool as well. I don't really know how the regions worked if we included Bristol, Liverpool and Peterborough as part of the same region. I guess we didn't have London and the southeast, and we didn't have Scotland or the northeast. It must have just been three separate regions it was split into. So I guess if you've got someone coming from Liverpool, someone coming from Bristol, someone coming from Peterborough, it kind of is sort of in the middle, maybe. Pascal panicked about formations in Unedited Legend. Quite a lot, but he's not changed them yet because he doesn't have the option to change them yet. Yeah, we've got to get to January. I don't think necessarily, as you'll see in today's episode, I don't think necessarily it's the formation that's the problem. I think it's Damien. I think Damien might have been a mistake. And logically, I look at him and I don't really know why. Everything about him screams he should be really good. He just is not getting the job done. So I think the problem is we don't have the players to play the system I want to play. But we also don't have the players to play any other system. Am I going off attributes? Not fully, but I look at him and if a player, you know, he's got a good star rating, he had a good scout report, and we've seen him play well against us. Oh, Tommy. We've seen him play against us really well. So everything about him screams he should be good. You sign him and he's not good. So then I start digging into the attributes and having a proper look. And it still looks like, yeah, he should be good. Is his partner enough? Well, his partner's Adeyemi and he's hammering the goals in. Damien was 30-something million. Brilliant corner. This has been a really great end to the stream. For a stream that I told you this would happen. We'd start well and then it would tail off very quickly. And now we can't even take a corner. Come on, boys. Few signings in January and I'll be back up there. Yeah, maybe. Right, come on, boys. Let's have an equaliser. Scott should be back for Friday's stream. He was only out for a month. It's been nearly a month. Once Scott's back, we'll be fine again. We did a football goal. Remember, tomorrow there won't be a Leamington stream because tomorrow afternoon is the network game. It is a 2 o'clock kickoff for the network game tomorrow rather than 7. So if you turn up at 7, it'll have already finished. You'll just have to watch the VOD. So 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon for the network game. And then we'll be back with this save on Friday about 1-ish. Oh, Scott's back in this game. Gordon Bennett. What a manager I am. Didn't even notice he'd reappeared. What was I saying? Yeah. Friday. I always say 1 o'clock-ish and I always start before 1. So if you turn up at 1 thinking you're on time, you're late. When I say 1-ish, I mean like 1:45. That's usually when we start. Have we done a bin watch? We haven't. It's Wednesday and no one's asked about the bins. Breaking bin news. I mean, it's not breaking. It happened this morning. The bins went really early today. I'm glad I put them out last night. Bins were gone by 9:30. They usually go in the afternoon. But they just swanning around as early as they like, taking the bins. There's some Wednesdays I don't even put the bin out until mid-morning. It would have been no bins if I'd have done that this week. Would have been a disaster. Luckily, we got away with it. It was Black Bin Day, for those of you wondering. So the black bin's gone, which, as we all know, is the rubbish bin. Oh, how's he missed that? Always put them out the night before. Nah. Because then people will go through them and steal all my treasures. Probably. That happens, right? I want people stealing my treasures. My special things that I've thrown away. Oh. See, my green bin, my grass bin, goes on the same day as recycling, not on the same day as rubbish. My bin men are always here by 7 AM. Proper pros. They're lazy around here. Gotta be careful. The window's open. Oh, no, no, no. Oh, yeah. No, 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 no. Not with the last kick of the game. What's Wooster doing? He'd been playing so well earlier in the year. He's put the wrong hand in the wrong direction there to try and save that. Now we'll sell him. I'm done with him. He's our new scapegoat. What's he doing there? That was like the Frenchy flap. What's the temperature of the window open? Don't know. It's chilly in here. It's nice and cool. I would say we're probably sitting here about 16 or 17 degrees. Outside, it's much colder than that. I always have the window open. It gets very hot in here. I'm in a tiny room with lots of lights and machines and things. There you go. We're taking Mike in on trial to stop the rot. If the rot continues in Friday's stream, it's all Mike's fault. Let's have a look at him. This guy, it's his fault. Let's hope it's not Mike's fault, eh? Exactly. We will wrap things up there, though, because form, after starting so well, has done a nosedive. It's all Manchester United's fault. I said it would be. All their fault. We'll be fine. We'll turn it around on Friday. But until then, network game, 2 o'clock tomorrow. Non-Leeds Legend, 4 o'clock every day between now and then. And Toodle Pip, goodbye. Bye-bye, Toodle Pip. Goodbye.